apocalypse dragon, vanished from the dimensional gap. The disappearance of this colossal entity left a void in the balance of the supernatural world. Unbeknownst to the inhabitants of this realm, another soul was chosen to ascend to this power, Issei. Sayhayadu, the perverted yet kind-hearted high school student and the Red Dragon Emperor, woke up with a splitting headache. Memories of his latest battle against powerful foes in the supernatural world flashed before his eyes. He had fought valiantly alongside his friends, the Occult Research Club, but something felt different now. He felt an immense power surging within him, a power that was foreign yet familiar. As he sat up in bed, he noticed his surroundings had changed. He was no longer in his room at the Hayate residence but in a vast, boundless space filled with swirling energy and light. The dimensional gap. Confusion and curiosity filled his mind as he tried to make sense of his situation. "Where am I?" Issei muttered, looking around. "What happened to me?" A deep, resonant voice echoed through the gap. "You have been chosen, Issei Hayate. The mantle of the dragon god now rests upon your shoulders." Issei turned to see a figure materialize before him. It was Apus, the Ouroboros dragon, and the infinite dragon god. Her expression was as stoic as ever, but there was a hint of something more profound in her eyes. "Apus? What's going on? Why am I here?" Issei asked, his heart racing. "You have inherited the power of Great Red," Apus replied. "He has disappeared, and in his absence, the balance of the supernatural world was at risk. You have been chosen to become the new dragon god, Issei Hayate." The weight of her words sank in, and Issei felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had always dreamed of becoming stronger to protect his friends, but this was beyond anything he had ever imagined. "But why me?" Issei asked, his voice trembling slightly. "I'm just a regular guy. How can I handle such immense power?" Apus stepped closer, her gaze piercing through him. "You are not just a regular guy. You are the Red Dragon Emperor, a being of immense potential. Your determination, your will to protect those you care about, and your indomitable spirit make you worthy of this power. Embrace it, Issei. Embrace your destiny." Issei took a deep breath, trying to steady his nerves. He looked within himself, feeling the new energy coursing through his veins. It was overwhelming, but he could sense a connection to it, a bond that was forming. I'll do it," Issei said, his voice growing steadier. "I'll become the dragon god and protect everyone." Apus nodded, a faint smile crossing her lips. "Good. There is much to learn, and you will need to master this power. But first, you must return to your world. They need you, Issei." With a wave of her hand, a portal opened, leading back to the human world. Issei hesitated for a moment, then stepped through, feeling the rush of energy surround him. Back in the human world, Issei found himself back in his room, the familiar surroundings comforting him. He could hear the voices of his friends downstairs, their laughter and chatter bringing a smile to his face. He knew he had a monumental task ahead of him, but with his friends by his side, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As he walked downstairs, he was greeted with a chorus of cheers and warm smiles. Rias, Aquino, Kiba, Asia, and the rest of the Occult Research Club were there, their faces lighting up with joy at seeing him. "Issei, you're awake!" Rias exclaimed, rushing to hug him. "Yeah, I'm back," Issei said, hugging her back. "And I have some important news to share with all of you." They gathered around, listening intently as Issei recounted his experience in the dimensional gap and his new role as the dragon god. Their reactions ranged from shock to awe, but one thing was clear: they were ready to support him in this new journey. "Issei, no matter what happens, we'll be with you," Rias said, her eyes filled with determination. "That's right," Aquino added. "We'll face any challenge together." Issei felt a surge of gratitude and resolve. With his friends by his side, he knew he could embrace his new destiny and become the dragon god the world needed. The weight of power. Days turned into weeks as Issei immersed himself in his training. The transition from the Red Dragon Emperor to the Dragon God was not easy. His new powers were vast and required rigorous discipline to control. Apus, the infinite Dragon God, guided him through his training, her stoic demeanor masking the pride she felt in his progress. "Concentrate, Issei," Apus said as she floated beside him in the dimensional gap. "Feel the energy within you. Command it. You are the master of this power, not its servant." Issei closed his eyes, focusing on the swirling energy within him. He could feel the immense power, like a raging storm waiting to be unleashed. With a deep breath, he extended his hand, willing the energy to take shape. A crimson dragon, shimmering with otherworldly light, materialized before him. "Good," Apus nodded approvingly. "Now sustain it." One day, as Issei practiced in the dimensional gap, a new figure appeared. Vala Lucifer, his rival and former wielder of the White Dragon Emperor's power, stepped through a portal. "Vala? What are you doing here?" Issei asked, surprised but not entirely displeased to see his old rival. "I heard about your new role," Vala replied, smirking. "Thought you could use some help. After all, who better to push you to your limits than your rival?" Issei grinned. "All right, let's see what you've got." The training sessions with Vala were intense. They pushed each other to new heights, their battles echoing through the dimensional gap. Vala's presence was a constant reminder of the stakes, and the need for Issei to master his powers quickly. Bonds and determination. Back in the human world, Issei's friends in the Occult Research Club supported him every step of the way. Rias, Aquino, Kiba, Asia, and the others helped him balance his training with his daily life. Their unwavering support strengthened his resolve. One evening, after a particularly grueling training session, Issei sat with Rias under the stars. "Do you ever doubt yourself, Issei?" Rias asked softly, her hand resting on his. Issei looked at her, the weight of his new responsibilities evident in his eyes. "Sometimes. But then I remember why I'm doing this. To protect all of you. To keep the world safe. And that gives me strength." Rias smiled, leaning her head on his shoulder. "We're all here for you, Issei. You're not alone in this." As Issei's training progressed, Apus informed him of an upcoming trial, a test to prove his worthiness as the Dragon God. The trial would take place in a secluded realm known as the Dragon's Sanctuary, a place of immense power and danger. "Your first trial will be to defeat the Guardian of the Sanctuary," Apus explained. "Only then will you be recognized as a true Dragon God." Issei nodded, determination burning in his eyes. "I'm ready." Accompanied by his friends and Vala, Issei entered the Dragon's Sanctuary. The air crackled with energy, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. In the center of the sanctuary stood the Guardian, an ancient dragon of colossal size, its scales shimmering with an ethereal light. The Guardian roared, its voice shaking the very foundations of the realm. Issei stepped forward, his body radiating with the power of the Dragon God. "Let's do this," he said, his voice steady. The battle was fierce and relentless. Issei unleashed his newfound abilities, summoning draconic energy and manipulating the very fabric of reality. His friends provided support, their combined strength bolstering his own. Vala fought alongside him, their rivalry turned into a powerful alliance. With each strike, Issei grew more confident, his control over his powers becoming more precise. Finally, with a mighty roar, Issei unleashed a devastating attack that engulfed the Guardian in a blaze of crimson light. When the light faded, the Guardian lay defeated, its massive form dissolving into the energy of the sanctuary. "You have proven yourself, Issei Hayato," the Guardian's voice echoed as it faded away. "The mantle of the Dragon God is yours." Word of Issei's ascension to the Dragon God spread quickly through the supernatural world. As the new Dragon God, Issei found himself at the center of attention. Representatives from various factions, including angels, devils, fallen angels, and other supernatural beings, sought audiences with him to understand his intentions and forge alliances. One day, Issei found himself hosting a meeting with the leaders of these factions. Serzex Lucifer, the Mao of the underworld, Michael, the leader of the angels, Azazel, the governor-general of the Grigori, and other influential figures gathered in a grand hall within the dimensional gap. Issei, your new role as the dragon god has caused ripples throughout our world. Serzex began, his voice calm and authoritative. We must understand how you intend to use this power. Issei stood tall, feeling the weight of their expectations. I seek to maintain balance and protect all realms. I will use my power to ensure peace and prevent any force from disrupting the harmony we've worked so hard to achieve. Michael nodded approvingly. A noble goal. We will support you in this endeavor. As Issei worked to solidify alliances and establish his role as the dragon god, a new threat began to emerge. A powerful and malevolent entity known as Apus, the Chaos Dragon, sought to challenge Issei's claim to the title of dragon god. Apus, a being of pure destruction, had long harbored ambitions of usurping Great Red's power. One evening, as Issei trained with Apus and his friends, a dark portal tore open in the sky. From it emerged Apus, his presence suffused with dark energy that caused the very air to vibrate. Issei Hayadu! Apus growled, his voice echoing with malice. You are unworthy of the power you wield. I will take it from you and plunge the world into chaos. Issei stepped forward, his eyes burning with determination. I won't let you harm anyone. I'll protect my friends and the world from you. The Battle of Dragons. The ensuing battle between Issei and Apus was nothing short of cataclysmic. The sky darkened as their energies clashed, each strike sending shockwaves that reverberated through the dimensions. Issei, drawing on his training and the support of his friends, fought with everything he had. Apus, Vala, and the members of the Occult Research Club joined the fray, their combined efforts creating a formidable force. Apus, however, was relentless, his power seemingly endless. As the battle raged on, Issei realized that defeating Apus required more than just raw power. He needed to outthink and outmaneuver his foe. Drawing on his experience as the Red Dragon Emperor, he began to formulate a strategy. Vala, can you distract him? Issei called out. Vala nodded, launching a barrage of attacks that forced Apus to defend. Meanwhile, Issei focused his energy, channeling the full might of the dragon god within him. With a roar, Issei unleashed a devastating attack that combined his draconic energy with his innate determination and love for his friends. The blast struck Apus with unyielding force, breaking through his defenses and engulfing him in a blaze of light. When the light faded, Apus lay defeated, his dark form dissipating into the ether. The battle was over, but the cost had been high. The landscape around them bore the scars of their clash, a stark reminder of the power they wielded. As the dust settled, Issei's friends gathered around him, their expressions a mix of relief and admiration. They had faced an immense threat and emerged victorious, their bonds stronger than ever. Apus approached Issei, her usual stoic expression softened by a rare smile. You have proven yourself once again, Issei Hayadu. You are truly worthy of the title of Dragon God. Issei smiled back, feeling a sense of pride and gratitude. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you for standing by my side. Rias stepped forward, placing a hand on his shoulder. We're a team, Issei. No matter what challenges come our way, we'll face them together. With the immediate threat of Apus vanquished, Issei turned his attention back to his responsibilities as the dragon god. He continued to train, hone his abilities, and work towards maintaining balance in the supernatural world. I think I will end it here short. If you want the next part, let me know. If not, I will do a different what ifs. If you enjoy this video, like and subscribe and hit the little bells so you know when I upload the next CYA.